Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Dayspring Discussions. I'm your host, Sean McGahee. In this show, we talk about movies, TV, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books. If you geek out about it, we're going to talk about it. You can listen to Dayspring Discussions on iTunes, YouTube, Podomatic, and Patreon, and contact Dayspring Discussions on the Facebook group, Twitter account, and dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com. Well, happy Tuesday, everyone. It's a little cloudy here in Austin, Texas today. Usually on my day off Tuesdays, I do a podcast, I go exercise, maybe a little outside, and then go do some yard work. Well, given the fact that it looks like it might pour down rain at any moment, I might not do the other two things. I might just have to stay inside and watch some TV or something. Oh, darn. But it is okay because we have a lot to talk about today. Of course, right off the bat, Avengers Infinity War, guys. Hopefully you went out and saw it this weekend. I've seen it twice. I plan on seeing it at least once more, probably next week. Go check it out. Lisa and I sat down on Sunday, did a full hour-long spoilers review. I think we covered quite a bit of it, so go check that out wherever you find Dayspring Discussions. And boy, did it crush it. Now, it set several records this weekend. First off, biggest domestic opening of all time, taking out The Force Awakens by almost $10 million. It got biggest worldwide opening of all time, biggest superhero opening, biggest Saturday in North America, biggest Sunday, biggest opening. It was just amazing. All these records that this film overtook. Now, whether it's going to get up there with like the giants as far as biggest totals like The Force Awakens, Titanic, Avatar, we'll wait and see. But if it does, I gotta say it's well worth it. I enjoyed the film. No spoilers, but if you have followed the Marvel Cinematic Universe up to this point, you need to go see this movie. It's a culmination of everything. You don't have to see all the movies. What I recommend, check out the Guardians of the Galaxy, the first film. Check out both Avengers films, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Thor Ragnarok. I think those are probably the essentials, so you just know the characters. So just a handful of them are usually what you need to see. Oh, and Captain America Civil War. Those 6. Go see those 6 at the very least. If you've seen those 6, you're good to go. Don't worry about it. But once you have seen them, go check out this movie. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm going to see it again. Check out the full spoilers review online. Now, speaking of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, now that Infinity War is out of the way, it looks like Marvel Studios is gearing up for their next film, Ant-Man and the Wasp, which comes out July 6th. Yesterday, we got a poster, which you can find on the Dayspring Discussions Facebook and Twitter accounts. And then, today, we get a brand new trailer, guys. And I gotta say, I'm watching this trailer. I'm gonna go through here in just a sec, but I'm watching this trailer, and I'm getting excited for it because I'm still amped up from Infinity War. And that's what's happened. Marvel has now built this reputation of giving us quality films. Not all of them are great. There's a couple of Marvel films that, I'm not a fan of. But they've built the trust with their audience. That's why Infinity War has been so good. Marvel has proven that they can make quality films that the audience enjoys. And that's why Infinity War is such a payoff for them, because they've earned those big box office numbers through all the other films that they've given us. And I think Ant-Man and the Wasp is going to be one of those same things. The reason I'm so amped for this film is because I'm coming off a high from their last film, Infinity War. It's directed by Peyton Reed, who directed the first Ant-Man film. And the first Ant-Man film is one of those movies that I've watched, and I'm like, it was okay. But the more I watch it, like I reviewed it this past month, and I like it more and more every time I watch it, really. So I'm getting excited for this one. Of course, in this one, Evangeline Lilly as Hope Van Dyne joins Paul Rudd in the suit, kind of a tag team thing going on. Ant-Man and the Wasp. We got Michelle Pfeiffer coming in as the original Wasp, Janet. And then, of course, we have Lawrence Fishburne coming in as Dr. Bill Foster, an old associate of Hank Pym's, otherwise known as Goliath. So, like I said, I'm just going to watch the trailer here real quick and then talk about a few things that I enjoyed about it, a few things that stand out. Of course, the number one standout for me I like from this first scene where he's riding the truck is he might be going big just as much as he's going small. I mean, in Captain America Civil War, we saw him go big, and it was fun. It was a great scene, and we see now that not only can he shrink, but he can also go big as much as he goes small, and I think that's great. That's a new aspect to the character, to his powers, and gives us something new to play with in a sequel, and that's kind of in a sequel, I think, what you want to see. You want to see something new, give it a new angle, a new aspect. Speaking of which, Wasp kicking butt in the van. In the first Ant-Man film, we knew that Hope Van Dyne was very capable to where, you know, she was training Scott how to fight. She could control the ants herself, and she wanted to be in the suit. Now she has her own suit, a badass Wasp suit, and man, she is badass. You know, I never thought Evangeline Lilly was super hot. You know, she's attractive, but not super hot. And this, the fact that she kicks ass, she's super hot. And of course, Michael Pena, you gotta love him. I mean, he makes everything so hilarious in that first Ant-Man film, and he's gonna fill out that role very nice in this one as he narrates this trailer. We come to find out a little bit more about the villain, where it looks like Hank Pym has, they said, opened up the quantum realm to where our villain, what's her name, blah, 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 I'm looking on IMDb here, blah, 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 I don't know what her name is. It's somewhere around here. Ghost, there we go, played by Hannah John Kamen. She's the villain. Looks like she's walking through walls, doing some weird stuff, and it might be in consequence to Hank Pym going to the quantum realm, I'm assuming, to look for his wife, played by Michelle Pfeiffer. You could say that Pym and Stark are very mirror characters. You can see how Tony Stark is a big problem in the MCU because he causes more problems. Pym is kind of along that way. We realize in the first Ant-Man film, his whole thing is trying to get his technology back from the villain. And in this one, another thing where he causes the problem, which creates the villain. So in retrospect, he does kind of have that similarity to Tony Stark, who he hates very much, by the way. So more, you know, Michael Pena, because we stole it from you. You know, we robbed from you. One thing I am looking forward to in this film as well is more of the yin and yang between Paul Rudd and Evangeline Lilly. They've said this is going to be kind of a romantic comedy. I want to see that relationship build. I thought the kiss they shared at the end of Ant-Man seemed a little out of place, a little forced, but when I recently watched the film, I think it was just kind of like a one-kiss thing. Like they hadn't been necking for a while. That was their first kiss, and then he walked away, and now I think they have to talk about the kiss in this film and see what becomes of their relationship and build a relationship really throughout all of it. But I do love, you know, again, they're tag teaming. Wasp just looks so badass. The way she's able to use her wings and her rays that make stuff big. This scene here where she makes the salt shaker big so the guy can't escape. It's just, it makes her look like such a badass. Okay, the one shot of the entire trailer I did not like was the giant ant playing the drums. I get it. It's a comedy, you know, it's supposed to be funny, but it looks stupid to me. I thought it just seemed kind of stupid. And this shot here where Paul Rudd or Scott's like, you go low, I'll go high. And then Hope's like, I have wings. Why would I go low? Again, just their relationship, them partnering up, the way they're supposed to have to work together, just looks like it's going to be so much fun to watch. I'm really looking forward to this film. Again, mainly because I'm riding the high from Infinity War. And of course, this last scene where you get to see Lawrence Fishburne as Bill Foster. They're talking about going big, and Bill's like, I did 16 feet. And Scott's like, I did 65. And Hope, of course, makes the penis reference in that all. It's so much fun to watch. I'm looking forward to this film. I think anyone who enjoyed Infinity War, which I think was everyone, is looking forward to this. But yeah, MCU films, they've earned this moment to where even a film like is not as well known as, say, Ant-Man gets a sequel, I think everyone's looking forward to because everyone is expecting quality from Marvel Studios. Guardians of the Galaxy had a raccoon in a tree. Nobody thought it would work, but it turned out great. Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, all these far-out ideas, they've earned our faith at this point. So go online, check out the Ant-Man and Wasp new trailer if you haven't seen it already. Fire back on the social media groups and Gmail account. Let me know what you think. Okay, well, I am running out of time here, guys, and I still got a lot of things to talk about. So I'm just going to briefly mention Marvel trailers. Cloak and Dagger, the new show, coming to Freeform. There's a new 2-minute trailer that came out, I think, 2 days ago or yesterday or something like that. You can go on YouTube or on the Dayspring discussion sites and check it out. I'm not a big fan of Cloak and Dagger. I'm not too familiar with them. I mainly know them from Cloak and kind of how he helped Captain America during the Civil War storyline. But this, for me, I'm going to watch it, but I'm not super excited about it. It's kind of got that Runaways feel for me, and to be honest, I've only watched the first episode of Runaways. It's one of those shows. It's on my Hulu queue along with Handmaid's Tale. I keep saying I'm going to get to it, but I haven't. I know people really like Runaways. I wasn't thoroughly impressed with that first episode. I still haven't gotten to it. There are many other things I need to get to watching. I still haven't gotten to the CW Seeds Constantine animated series that they're doing. I want to watch that, but I still haven't finished Lost in Space on Netflix. This is just going to be another thing to my list as far as Runaways, but I will check out Cloak and Dagger. You guys check it out, the new trailer online. Let me know what you think. Okay, so I do want to talk about the new Star Wars animated series that was announced. But I know if I start talking about it, I'm going to take way too long. So I'm going to go to the other story that's going to be shorter. And hopefully I'll do one more show this week. And I'll talk more in depth about my feelings on the Star Wars animated series on that one. But Paramount has announced that they are indeed going to be doing another Star Trek film. 4th one in the series next to Star Trek Into Darkness, and Star Trek Beyond. And they announced at CinemaCon that they're getting director S.J. Clarkson on this one. First female director of the franchise. She's worked on shows such as Heroes, Dexter, Jessica Jones, and Defenders. Now, people are kind of wondering what's going on with the Star Trek franchise. Last we heard was that Quentin Tarantino had an idea that he was pitching to Paramount. And then, of course, we also heard back when Star Trek Beyond came out that they had a 4th film already in play that was going to bring back Chris Hemsworth as Kirk's dad. So we're not quite sure what kind of story we're getting. Allegedly, we're possibly getting 2 Star Trek films in development. One of them is the Tarantino storyline, and this one is the one that's going to be directed by S.J. Clarkson. My dad is a Trekkie. I, of course, am always more Star Wars person, but I like the rebooted Star Trek films. Why? Because they're more action-oriented, which pisses a lot of Trekkies off. You know, Trek has always been kind of that deep sci-fi that not really exciting and has a lot of deeper meaning to it as far as talking about humanity and other messages. I think the new Star Trek films have those. But, again, it's got that action, it's got that wit, the humor, which I really enjoy. So, sue me, but I have, like, the newer incarnations of the Star Trek, rebooted by J.J. Abrams back in 2009. That film alone is great. I love it. I can watch it all the time. I know some people poo-poo on Into Darkness. I enjoyed it. Probably Star Trek Beyond was my least favorite, but again, it's one of those films, the more I watch it, the more I appreciate it. So, in any event, we're getting another Star Trek. I feel like these films keep coming out too far and few in between each other. Like, they really should have had this film done probably like this year, but, you know, whatever. It's coming. Hopefully it's still good. This Clarkson woman, she's directed Heroes, Dexter, Jessica Jones, Defenders, all terrific shows. She's got a lot of directing experience, not in film, but in TV. But, you know, the Russo brothers, they did Community and Arrested Development, and then they did Captain America Winter Soldier. So a good director is a good director. A good storyteller is a good storyteller. As Kevin Feige would say. So I have full faith that she can do the job, that can pull it off. It just depends on everything else as far as the story and where it all goes. But I'm excited for this. Fire back on the social media groups and the Gmail account, guys. Let me know what you think. Do you like the newer Star Trek films? I know they've become more mainstream, which some original Star Trek fans don't like. Let me know, guys. All right, that is it for me today. Like I said, I want to talk about the Star Wars animated series Resistance, but I've run out of time, so I'm hoping to get to another show on Thursday. I'll talk about it then. Guys, don't forget, this Saturday is also free comic book day. Go to your local comic book store, pick up some comics. I plan on taking not only my daughter, but also my niece and nephew this year to Austin Comics and Books. They got a whole tent set up full of free comics, and, you know, it's a lot of fun. We make kind of a morning out of it. We go get some donuts at Shipley's Donuts, and then we head over to Austin Comics and Books. It's a whole fun morning that I try to engage with my daughter to where, you know, inspire her to love comics and enjoy comics as much as I did when I was a kid. So that's it, guys. Fire back on the Facebook group, of course, the Twitter account, and dayscreendiscussions@gmail.com. Let me know about the topics. Let me know, did you enjoy Infinity War? Have you seen the new Ant-Man and Wasp trailer? And, of course, Star Trek. What do you think, guys? We're getting a fourth film. Are you excited for it? Do you think it's too late, or do you just not enjoy the franchise? And that's it. I hopefully will see you guys one more time this week. If not, until next time, may the Force be with us all.